So this week we tackled a drawer bench that's actually easy to build. We're the White family. We live in rural Alaska, and for us, it's DIY all day, every day. So winter's coming and the down coats are coming out, the hockey gear is coming out, and the hats and gloves are everywhere, and the boots are everywhere, and I need to get this mudroom organized, and I need to get this mudroom done. So I always recommend before you start a big project or organizing effort, use the space first and see where all the things are naturally ending up. And then once you realize where all the piles are naturally going, work with that and design something that maximizes the organic flow of the room. So I'm going to start with the biggest project first, and that would be kind of the mudroom system here. And I've got an idea of what needs to go there and get working on that plan. Okay, so in that little mudroom area, it's quite deep. So I decided I wanted to do like a 24-inch deep bench there, but I didn't want to just leave it open there because shoes would go to the back and get lost, or boots or whatever. So I want to put drawers in there. So we're going to build a drawer bench, and I want to do 3 drawers. But a drawer bench can be a little bit difficult to do if anybody's done that. So I had this idea of how to do it a little different. So I'm going to take 2x4s and build these 2 matching frames, and then we'll take plywood and we'll cover the top and the 2 outsides, and then we'll throw drawer slides right on those 2x4s, and then we'll build a face frame and frame out the front to make it look pretty. So I haven't done this type of construction before. It's just a theory at this point. We'll see if it works out. Got all our 2x4s cut, and these will be for the frames. So we're going to start building those right now. So we got our 2 2x4 frames put together. Now we're going to work on the sides and the top.
So since we are cross-cutting this piece of plywood, right, that's really hard to shove through your table saw unless you have a really nice setup where you can actually set up for it. Well, our shop is pretty small and it's limited, so this is where the AccuCut came in place. You're not having to handle a 70-pound sheet of plywood. No table saw, no problem. You get nice precise lines, and you can really do a really quick, easy, fast job with this setup. We just threw some screws in here because they're going to be hidden by the beam. Obviously this bench is going to be tight against the wall, but right here this is going to be exposed, so I'm going to go ahead and use the nailer. That way they're discreet. When we paint this thing, we won't see any screws.
The way that we we built this bench is a little different than we normally do it. We're kind of testing it out, but normally you would do like a plywood sides, plywood top, plywood dividers, plywood bottoms, and then you'd have to block things out for your drawer slides to work out in your face frame, and it actually is a little bit of a pain. So Jacob and I came up with this idea to do these two matching 2x4 frames, and then we can just mount the drawer slides right to them like that. And the benefit is it saves a lot of material, saves a lot of time in building it, saves a lot of money because your 2x4s are a lot cheaper than all the plywood cuts, and saves a lot of extra steps because you don't have to do all the blocking and all that funny business. So I mean, believe it or not, we just have to add the top on this, slap the face frame on it, build the drawers, and we're done. Okay, so I'm mounting the drawer slides on the 2x4 frame, and I need to block them up because there'll be a face frame on the front of the cabinet. So the drawer slides, I'm just gonna get a 2x4 block. I'm gonna set this drawer slide, and this is the cabinet member, on here. And then I'm gonna use a square so that I can bring this all the way forward. Right where I want it. Pull these guys out, and that's the cabinet members. Now I'm going to mount the drawer member on. You want to mount them parallel to your drawer bottom, and I just brought them up 3/4 inch because I wanted the drawer to be raised that height. So that distance will be dependent on your project. All right, that is the drawer member mounted, and I'm going to test this out. So they're flush to the front of the drawer here. Nice. All right, we're just going to repeat that for the other two drawers. We got all the drawers in and they slide really well. I'm super excited that the idea of the two 2x4 frames with the drawer slides in between, that it actually worked, and it was a very efficient and quick and easy way to build this bench. So we're going to move on now. We have the top put on, the face frame put on, the drawer faces put on, and the drawer bottoms. So this is the front of the cabinet, and this will trim it out and make it look prettier. What I'm doing is I want to make sure these guys are lined up exactly where they need to go. Alright, so we got the top on, and I put those little pieces in the face frame. I'm just going to check it out, nail it on. We got the face frame on, now I'm going to start working on the drawer faces. Now I have an idea to save a little bit of time and to save a little bit of materials, and that is to build these frames like this. Alright, this is the drawer face, and how it's going to work is we got the drawer box already made, and since this is solid wood, I'm just going to go over like that, cover all the outside edges, nail that on, and then the handle will go there. So we don't have to mess around with a back on this drawer. So this is kind of the cheater's way of doing a drawer face. All we did was build a face frame and put it right over top of the drawer box. This is actually the drawer box here. Saves a little bit of material and definitely saves a step. So we got all the nail holes to finish up, give it a good sanding, and then we can paint it, get it in place.
We got the bench built, now we need to put it in place, but obviously we built it to fit without the trim in place. So got this nice little multi-tool, and works good with this little cutter tool. We're gonna go ahead and cut the trim, pull it out, get ready to put the bench in.
Making bacon up here and
Cinnamon rolls?
no,
Make some cinnamon rolls.
no, the gross,
You don't know how to?
no.
You like it, Grace? She's hiding. Claim your drawer now.
Let's take this one.
No, you get the one in the back.
No.
There's only 3 drawers.
You get the one in the back.
Everything gets lost in the
Mom, Dad, and then kids. So we got the bench in place, and I gotta get the handles ordered. But look at those drawers, and look at how good they slide. So the beauty of this is nothing's gonna get lost way back in there. Another thing that I did, you guys will notice, like if you're standing in front of a low drawer, you don't want it to run over your toes. So you want to raise it up a little bit. If it was right on the ground and it hit your foot, it could stub your toe. So you want to try to avoid that. Just so excited about how this 2x4 idea went together and how it made everything so much simpler. And I could totally see this same concept being used for like storage beds or dressers or anywhere you want to add drawers. This could work really well. So I'm gonna have to do some more projects based off this. It was a big win. The whole project cost about $150. The drawer slides, we did nice ones, and we used just over half sheet of plywood, but I just counted it as a whole sheet of plywood. The big expense was the 1x10s for the drawer boxes, but if you think about it, and we just left it open, you'd probably spend like 20 to 50 bucks on a nice bin anyway. So having it built in and just right, I think that's a big win too. Okay, so we got the drawer bench done and it's great. And of course we're gonna go up the wall with something, so stay tuned to see what we do there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Monday.
Shoot something, let's see it. See how good you are. Top left. Top right. Bottom left. Five-hole.